Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Wednesday, the 2nd of April. With Robert Murray McShane, we're working our way through the Psalms, today reading Psalm 3 and 4. And Psalm 3, the heading is, it's a Psalm of David when he fled from his son Absalom. So that would make David an old man, well, oldish man by that stage. He'd been on the throne for a number of years, and he'd seen his children grow up. And Absalom was his firstborn, the oldest son, and he was claiming the throne. And David knew Absalom was not to be trifled with, because Absalom had already extracted vengeance by killing a half-brother. So David wasn't taking any chances. And the minute he heard Absalom was coming, he and his retinue fled before him. And he then prays the following prayer: Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying of me, God will not deliver him. But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. I call out to the Lord, and he answers me from his holy mountain. And so here is David on the run, and he recognizes he's got these foes. Absalom wasn't on his own. He had a whole contingent with him and a retinue and supporters that were rising up trying to claim the throne from David. And so David recognizes the threat, and he'd been there before as a young man with King Saul. And so he's on the run again. And he says not only is he on the run, and not only is he under threat, but people are saying God will not deliver him. There were these people that would put him down, that would say his time was over. One doesn't know exactly what they were saying, but one can imagine saying, well, he's an old man, and it's time for new blood. Absalom's coming. I'm sure God will put Absalom on the throne in his place, because Absalom is young and dynamic, and etc., etc., and therefore David's a has-been, and God won't listen to him. But David's confidence is in God, and he knows God. He's walked with God, and he's seen what God can do. And his response is, but you, Lord, are a shield. You are the one that will lift my head high. I call out to the Lord, and he answers. And as you read through the book of Samuel and the Kings, that's exactly what happened. He was delivered, and he was restored to the throne, and he could eventually appoint Solomon as his heir. And as I read that, I thought, how often don't people say to us, oh, it can't be done. God's not on your side. They try and make us lose confidence. And we shouldn't listen to those voices. Had David listened to the many who were saying God will not deliver him, he would have given up. But he didn't listen to those voices. He didn't listen to the naysayers. He listened to God, and he knew God, and he had his eyes firmly on God, and he knew that this was the kind of God he'd worshipped. This was the kind of God he followed, irrespective of what other people were saying. But you, Lord, are a shield. My glory, you're the one that lifts my head. I call out to you, and you will save me. And so it's a word of encouragement to us. When people would try and put us off, when people would try and put us down, when people try and say, well, God's not really going to, for whatever the reason may be, maybe we're too old, or we're not sincere enough, or they will have all sorts of good reasons why God won't be on our side. And like David, we can say, we know God. We are his children. He loves us. He will have our back. He will deliver us. He will work in our lives for our good and for his glory. That's the God we worship. That's the God David worshipped. That's where we put our hope. Be blessed.